Young World War II veterans returning from the war provided the impetus for forming AMVETS. The established veterans groups, like the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign Wars, were regarded as stale and rigid, not really in tune with the interests and needs of this new generation of veterans. As the number of returnees swelled into the millions, it was evident that some sort of new veterans national organization would materialize. A few loosely organized veterans clubs were formed at colleges and universities initially. Then the movement mushroomed into more than 75 separate groups scattered across 30 states. The leaders of this new generation of veterans wanted their own organization. One of the groups, a club formed by veterans attending George Washington University and those employed by the federal government, took the lead. The American Veterans of World War II, Inc., as the organizers called themselves, began contacting other groups around the country. Each group was invited to send 2 delegates to a conference in Kansas City, Missouri, to discuss the federation of the existing veterans groups which had formed out of World War II. 18 of them, representing 9 veterans clubs, met in Kansas City, Missouri, and formed the American Veterans of World War II on December 10, 1944. Less than 3 years later, on July 23, 1947, President Harry S. Truman signed Public Law 216, making AMVETS the first World War II organization to be chartered by Congress. Since then, the original charter has been amended several times to admit as members those who served in different eras. On 16 October 2002, the 107th Congress enacted Public Law 107-241, an act to amend the charter of the AMVETS organization to simply read AMVETS, American Veterans. Today, membership in AMVETS is open to anyone who is currently serving or who has honorably served in the U.S. Armed Forces from World War II to the present, to include the National Guard and Reserves, regardless of their deployment status. AMVETS' mission is to serve veterans and the active military in procuring their earned entitlements, to promote Americanism and preserve the freedom secured by America's armed forces, to provide community services that enhance the quality of life for all Americans. As AMVETS moves further into the 21st century, it does so with the conviction that it must continue serving all veterans, past, present, and future. AMVETS believes its mission remains a clear blueprint for continued service to God and country. Here are a few key events over the years. 1944, American Veterans of World War II, founded in Kansas City, Missouri. 1949, the first memorial carillon dedicated at Arlington National Cemetery. And in 1954, the first Silver Helmet Award was presented to General George C. Marshall. 1962, the USS Arizona Memorial and AMVETS Memorial Wall dedicated. 1968, the first Gold Helmet Award was presented to President Lyndon B. Johnson. And in 1990, the National Guardsmen and Reservists were accepted as members. And that brings us to 2006, when AMVETS hosts the National Symposium for the Needs of Young Veterans.